Basement Bookers Podcast.
I just noticed we're wearing the same damn shirt.
I had just took this out today. Okay, I came out
So did I.
of the shower and I said, how do I feel today? And then this is how I came up with this.
I figured, given the way SmackDown started, it was a Jacob Fatu kind of day.
What's up? It's your boys, the Basement Bookers Podcast. This week is the Evolution Picks and Predictions episode, the earliest picks and prediction episode I can confirm for this podcast specifically. I don't know what anyone else is doing. Basement Chair doesn't know. Rich Deriz doesn't know.
I don't know anything.
You know him. You tolerate him. The most richest, baldest man. Rich Deriz. And
That's
me.
right. Yes.
Jerry.
And talk about Evolution.
That's
There's
right.
gonna be a little bit of a touch of a fallout from Night of Champions. And where do you want to start?
Well, it's ladies first at Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh from her victory over Asuka. I kind of wish that that went differently, but it doesn't matter because all roads lead to Asuka, Io Sky at SummerSlam. I'm convinced of this.
Yeah.
And yes, I am looking past Rhea Ripley. So what we know about Jade is she's got a match at SummerSlam against the winner of one of the matches on the Evolution card. But we can't talk about that. So Naomi, Jade Cargill, who do you think? Who do you think wins? Who do you think doesn't win? Trick question. There's only two. And what's going on there? And if you want, you can talk about what you thought about the Night of Champions match. This way we don't have to go back to it later.
Let me think about so Jade and Asuka. I feel so they're obviously they have something planned here. Of course they have something planned. So Jade beat Asuka. I thought otherwise. I don't remember if that was your pick or not. I don't have that in front of me at the moment because I'm unprepared. I think one way or the other, Jade's going to beat Naomi. It may be by DQ. Like, Naomi may beat Jade to a pulp with a briefcase. I don't know. But they're building Jade. For them to put Jade over, I don't think they should have put Jade over Asuka. But they did. I think Jade beats Naomi.
Okay, that's easy because I also think that Jade beats Naomi because, a Money in the Bank winner doesn't necessarily have to lose or not have to win.
Right.
I don't know if it happens tonight. I mean, that night. But, Naomi could still cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase that night, even if she loses.
Mm-hmm.
But it would also depend on how she loses, because this is not just a regular match, guys. From what I understand, this match between Naomi and Jade, in the Wikipedia, if you look at the Wikipedia,
you're right. That says no holds barred.
That's right. It says no holds barred, which is why I don't know. I don't know why it's not on this poster. It might be that they just added that on Friday, which was taped. So I really don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, it could have been a late creative change.
So do you start with no holds barred? Sure. I'll still give it to Jade. Because she's going to proceed with caution. Because Naomi told her that she should.
Yep.
All right. Um, let's start with this one. All right. So Io Sky,
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley, title match. Um, look, we're at a crossroads here. So my problem with this match is that the WWE Women's World Champion
Mm-hmm.
challenged. She put out a challenge to Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but I don't like that really too much.
Mm-hmm.
That the world champion has to challenge the non-world champion to wrestle. Now you could argue, oh, well, what about Tiffany Stratton? You know, Tiffany Stratton gave Trish Stratus a title match.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on there? Well, that's different. Well, you ask yourself, well, why is that? Why is that different? Well, the difference is that this is probably a dream match for Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
And she believes she can beat Trish Stratus. Otherwise, why would she make this match?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go one of two ways. Tiffany Stratton wins the match. Naomi cashes in.
It's a definite
Trish
possibility.
Stratus could win the match. What a feel-good moment.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi cashes in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think any of that is going to happen here. I think they might hold on for SummerSlam. Because what is the most hater move you can pull? Okay, you have Jade Cargill win the championship
Mm-hmm.
off of Tiffany Stratton. And here comes that hater, Naomi, and
Mm-hmm.
just steals it from her. It does a couple of things. It protects Jade. Jade
Mhm.
has become the women's champion. And
Mhm.
now she's on this like crusade to get what was stolen from her back from Naomi.
Mhm.
You could keep that going to God knows where. They might even do like a WarGames, Team Cargill versus Team Naomi. Maybe. I don't know.
At Survivor
But
Series, War
that,
Games.
yeah, where else?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they change it back to regular Survivor Series, which I think you should. I think you should actually alternate to make things interesting. Sometimes you'll have war games, and
Mm-hmm.
then because I feel like, all right, maybe it's just me. Like as a concept, it's like, oh, this is unique, and you know, it's like, wow, and it's like, oh, here we go again, and again,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you know, and sometimes it feels like the matches aren't as good as the ones from the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
guess.
maybe they should only like, or maybe each year they have one War Games match and one traditional Survivor Series match.
I
War
think you
Games
should
could just
have
be
at
its own
least
pay per view.
one.
Yeah, War Games could be its own PLE. War Games doesn't have to be directly tied to Survivor Series, just because there's there's actually not a similarity to it. In one of them, you have elimination. In the other one, you have, well, everyone joins one by one by one. That's the opposite of elimination.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
additional.
okay. So if it's two survivors, it's two war games matches.
Hmm.
Why can't they just have at least one traditional Survivor Series match?
I think if they're doing two War Games matches, adding a traditional Survivor Series match also is long. Now, I know it's one of the big five, but you still don't want your crowd to be there for a long time. They extended SummerSlam to 2 nights for whatever reason. I think Survivor Series should have been the next one to extend to 2 nights after Mania, and they could do They could do a WarGames match each night and a traditional Survivor Series match each night.
Well, how many matches are in a War Games anyway, right? Because it's not just the War Games matches.
Right, but it
It's
ends up being
also
like
singles
traditional.
matches.
Yeah, it's a regular PLE. Like the old school Survivor Series pay-per-views, it would be all traditional Survivor Series matches, and they'd have like maybe 4 of them. That's potentially a long, boring night because
Last year had 5. It was 5 matches. You
Mhm.
could easily do open with the War Games, close with the War Games,
Mhm.
and instead of Braun Breaker versus Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, you could have a traditional Survivor Series match,
Mhm.
and then 2 other ones. You know,
Yeah.
they don't have to be Broadways. You can always, I guess, depending on the team, you could do maybe like a Raw versus SmackDown
Mhm.
Survivor Series. I
Yeah.
just missed a traditional Survivor Series match with the Sole Survivor and shit.
Was Lana the last sole survivor?
I think so.
That's a stat.
Yeah. Well,
Let's hang our hat on that.
yeah, we will. All right. So, um, hanging hats. So, okay. So for this, I'm gonna pick Io. I think Rhea Ripley thinks she's done with Raquel Rodriguez,
Mhm.
but I don't think that she is. I think something could happen here. I'm gonna
Mm.
give it to Io here. I don't think Rhea Ripley needs to be the women's world champion right now, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Like, let that be like come Mania time again, maybe, or maybe Survivor Series, maybe Rumble. Ooh, maybe have Rhea win the Rumble.
Again?
I forget. Oh yeah, no wait. Yeah, did she won last year?
All right. Well, we gotta have to do a little bit of research here because it was Charlotte who won last year.
Mm.
Remember, she had a match with Tiffany Stratton.
Oh yeah,
Charlotte's the first 2-time winner,
Tuta.
but I'm pretty sure Rhea's won before. So that would be another. Um, do you not believe me?
I believe you. I'm not looking. You're the one looking.
I'm just making sure because people expect facts here.
Hmm.
Rhea Ripley's won it twice. She won the '03, the 2023 one.
Oh, okay.
So if you were to have her win this one, that'd be twice in a row that there's a repeat winner, which doesn't make it not okay. Just like I just think there should be other people that should get an opportunity like that. You know?
Things we've said when discussing Charlotte for 100, Alex.
Yeah, okay, but do you want Rhea Ripley to just be Charlotte Flair one step after?
No, certainly not. Rhea Ripley has been rather clear in her desire to carve her own path,
Yeah,
and
we're a little far from the Rumble anyway,
yeah,
but
we are.
I think, yeah, I don't think Rhea wins this one.
Nah, she can get tossed over for that one.
All
It's
right,
early to talk about the Rumble anyway. Yeah, here we go.
that's why I said that.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus,
Hmm.
Tiffany Stratton, right? Like, I just don't see Trish Stratus. I mean, well, I did give a scenario, but I'm not
Hmm.
sure if that's going to work out. And probably not something one should rest their hat on.
Yeah. I feel like it's also going to be Tiffany for this one. Uh, Tiffany called out Trish for a reason. I think because Tiffany thinks she can win, like you said. Could also be maybe there's a ref bump during the match. Maybe Naomi runs out. Ref starts to come to. Ref sees Trish down. Ref sees Naomi clock Tiffany with the briefcase. DQ, Tiffany wins, and then Naomi cashes in and leaves with the title.
All right. So you picked Tiffany Stratton?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm not sure, but that was a good idea. Okay, let's get going. JCJ. I have the card, damn it. What's her name? Fuck.
That's Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, sorry. It just
The J. She's Super J. Don't you see? It's right there.
I don't think
Walk
she's
around
all
like she
that
got a-
super.
Walk around like she got a J on her chest.
I mean, she does. How else is anyone gonna know who she is?
I looked at her face and I said it's Jordan Grace. I didn't mean for that.
Shut your mouth. Shut up. Okay. You never had it where like someone's right in front of you, you see them every day,
Tip of your tongue. Yep.
and it's like the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do with this, but I think JC Jade should win. I don't know. I guess you believe otherwise.
Yeah,
Jordan Grace
I'm
has
going with
been in the
Jordan.
hut for a while.
I'm going with Jordan Grace here. I don't know how long Jake's has been champ. Is it like a month or two?
Listen, if you want to watch NXT,
I don't.
it's available to you every Tuesday.
I tried. It's
but-
rough. It's difficult. Goddamn parking lot. Anyway, I feel like they have before Jordan Grace was in the company, they were giving her the spotlight as the TNA Women's Champion, coming into a couple Royal Rumbles, including showing the TNA Championship. Of course, now she's signed with the company. She's got this match at Evolution. I feel like they're going to want to do something newsworthy. I think this match could likely open the show, and we're going to see a new NXT Women's Champion. JC's going to have the rest of her little squad with her, Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix. Fatal Influence, I think it is. I think we might get a surprise. Jordan might get some surprise help to neutralize the goons.
You know what? I'll pick her too. JC
Ah.
Jane feels like she might be like a transition champion to Jordan, because then it's like, then they didn't have to have her beat Stephanie Vaquer, but they had JCJ do it by nefarious means. All right.
And that would sort of be righting the wrong in a way.
Sure. Next, we have the women's tag team fight. They're
love
all for the belts.
I love the matching gear that Bliss and Charlotte have there.
Yeah, well, it's called Black Body, all right? You get used to it. So, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, aforementioned, they finally, they decide to be friends. An accidental tag leads to them defeating B-Fab, Michin, and a secret Hervis. Because Charlotte was trying to mock Alexa Bliss and pat her on the head, and the referee's like, "Oh, that's a tag, so you're gonna have to." And then Chelsea Green was like, and then Charlotte went to go kick her, and it's a good thing too because she's not legal. And then Alexa Bliss comes off the top, and then
Twisted Bliss.
That's the end of that. Twisted Bliss. They hug, then they don't hug, And now it's them versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, which is favorite.
Roxanne.
But we still have to be filled in the NXT and another Raw team is going to be there. But personally, Rich, I don't think any of that matters. I think you have who you have here for a reason. I think Charlotte Flair, I think Alexa Bliss, I think they win the women's tag team championships off of here. But then I thought, but wait, you want to keep the Judgment Day winning. You want to keep Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez with those championships. Because then Liv's going to come back and I was like, what? But then it's like, wait a minute. It's not like they can't get the championships back when inevitably the Alexa Bliss Charlotte Flair combo falls apart. It's just so many things that can happen here. So I'm going to do the safe thing. I'm going to go with the incumbents here. The current women's champions, plus a win of them together against all those other teams. It would be like, no, she wasn't just handed a tag team championship. She earned the right to hold that tag team championship. Plus, they have the Judgment Day. So.
Yeah, I like that line of thinking. There definitely are a lot of X factors here, certainly, because we don't even know two of the teams involved. I wonder if the NXT team is going to be Fallon and Jasmine.
I hope the NXT team is the TNT. What was those? They used to be
TNA.
No, what are they calling? Yeah, the TNA champions.
I have no idea who the TNA Women's Tag Champs are.
Let me check for you here. We have the internet. And then...
What?
Yeah, the internet.
What the hell is that?
It's
is that one of those...
series of tubes connected, and a squirrel runs through it and delivers the messages.
Oh, I heard about that squirrel. I like that squirrel. He's cute. Oh.
Yeah, he's worked really hard. Just give me the whole ass history. I just want... Okay. So the current are... You might know this. Ash by Elegance. And apparently Heather by Elegance.
Okay.
But I say, why don't you bring back an NXT tag team from back in the day? Why don't you bring in Peyton Royce?
Ooh.
Why don't you bring the other one? Yeah.
Billy Kay.
Who's the other one? There you
Billy
go.
Kay.
Peyton Royce is my favorite. So.
I do. I thought you liked Billy Kay.
I like her.
Billy Kay's the funnier one.
Yeah, she's funny. But who knows? She might be different from the last time we seen her.
You go to journalism for that?
What's that?
You go to journalism for that?
I didn't, but I know she says that.
Yeah, that was great.
You should go to journalism. We should at least one journalist over here.
I mean, I play one on the internet.
I suppose so. So who do you think the Raw tag team should be? I have an idea, but I don't know if they'll do it.
Go for it.
I think it'll probably be...
I can't even remember who's on what show anymore, so...
Natalia and Maxine. Yeah. It could be them.
That would be a good jobber team to throw in there.
Yeah. And
not saying that he's a jobber.
Yeah, so Iconics and Natty, Maxine, whatever you want to call them.
Like, if the Iconics want to come back, I think they really should bring them back. They were entertaining, and they were good.
At least for this Evolution thing,
Yeah.
you should bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's settled.
Iconic.
What do you think?
Oh, what? What was that?
You are on the same. You were the incumbents, right?
Oh yeah. Definitely Raquel and Roxanne. It
All right.
it drags the storyline along to Liv's return.
Excellent. Get ready, because there's a battle royal coming. We
Oh,
don't
boy.
know who's in the battle royal, with the exception of one person.
2 people.
Who's the other one?
Ivy Nile.
All right. Well, the winner, Stephanie Vaquer, right here, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I put that there. That's not how they made it, but yeah, she's the only one that I think that could win it. To be precise, that's been announced, and I think she should. The winner gets a title match against whoever the women's champion is.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously probably their show, so it'd be EO versus Stephanie Vaquer or whoever at Clash in Paris.
You know who's on the Clash in Paris poster that we haven't mentioned yet?
The Rock.
He is not.
Sexism.
Despite being on social media with his daughters putting makeup all over him today. But she's a female. I'll give you that hint. She's a female. She's a former multi-time women's champion, tag team champion.
All right. Rhea Ripley?
No, we already talked about her. Someone we haven't spoken about yet. We haven't mentioned her name all episode.
So it's not Becky Lynch. You know, she's been. Is it Bailey? You know,
No.
Bailey's been all those things.
No, but this person has something in common with both of those women.
So I said Bailey and Becky.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Charlotte Flair?
It's not. We already spoke about her.
Oh, we did?
Mm-hmm.
Can you just tell me?
Well,
Because
she
I
was
don't
mentioned.
like this game.
Okay. Bianca Belair.
Oh, that's right. She should be ready to go? Yeah. If she's on the poster.
She's on the poster.
That'd be false advertisement to the people in Paris.
Yeah. So I think it's too early to tell. I'm gonna go with Bianca on this just because of that.
Wow. Holy shit.
By the way, is
Okay.
this title for the Basement Championship?
I don't know. Do you want it to be?
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay, because this is not the WWE. Okay?
Yeah.
The champion doesn't fucking challenge. All right? He gets challenged.
I challenge
Let
you.
that. All right, then we're going to have to come up with a
Why am I on the
tiebreaker
wrong
then.
side?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
At
It's
least I'm not hurting
impossible.
him this week. That was weird last week. So obviously we don't know the rest of the competitors in this battle royal. So for any of these matches, we can make changes by, let's say, noon Sunday.
By noon Sunday?
Next Sunday, you know, the day of Evolution.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Because we got
But
Saturday night's main event the night before. There could be something could develop then that will affect that. Maybe there's going to be like the last spot in the battle royal, or the last something for the tag title match.
well, I guess since I'm a nice guy, I guess I'll allow it.
All right.
All right. Do we need a tiebreaker or do we have to wait?
Oh, there's one more match we haven't talked about yet.
Uh,
You mentioned two of the competitors trying to think of Bianca's name before.
I'm looking at the matches I have on here.
So match 7.
This one?
Nah, Becky and Bailey and Lyra.
Oh, why isn't this on the official thing?
I don't know. I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
Okay, but I went to WWE. That's what I'm asking about. That's
No,
official, not Wikipedia.
no, you're right.
Okay.
I don't know why they haven't made a poster for it yet.
Yeah, because if it was official, when did they make it official? Why wouldn't it be up here with all the other Evolution matches? Doesn't make
Let
any
me
sense.
see. 38.
That's
I guess
crazy.
It looks like Fightful just announced it today.
Oh, Fightful, the the media outlet, the one that WWE gets their marching orders from. Okay,
So Adam Pierce.
Fightful.
So the Fightful article says Adam Pierce confirmed the bout on social media.
All right, then it's gonna be Becky, I think.
Yeah, same.
Unfortunately,
To
but I
retain
think
the
she might
Women's
hold it for a little bit.
Intercontinental Championship.
It's a triple threat match. Anything goes.
Yup. Gonna see some title shots to the dome, I bet.
I think Lyra turns heel.
That'd be nice. I like to
It
see.
wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't
But
make it. Right. But she's otherwise uninteresting at the moment. To me.
I think she turns heel to ingratiate herself with Becky, and then she turns the knife later. She's got to play the mind games. She has to do mind games with Becky Lynch. And you could do like a double flip.
Double turn?
You could flip it where later they're all heels and stuff, and then Lyra's like thumbs down on you, and then but or it's just like, no, I'm that go getter. So you also gonna do that one?
Yeah, I also got Becky. Like you said, let her keep the title for a while, at least till Survivor Series, I think.
I just want her to keep it long enough where we could get people mad at her. Okay, she needs to be a heel. I feel like she's in that Seth Rollins territory, Just change the music. Just change it. Why does she still have her babyface music? I mean, granted, it's always been her music, but just change it. At least for now, you can always go back to it. It's Becky Lynch. Just make sure she doesn't have some shitty ass Def Rebel bullshit, and there you go.
I think WWE should just retain the rights to the music. Like after a music team leaves, another one comes in. Just whatever. But yeah, Becky's music sounds too face-like.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing intimidating or menacing about it, or egotistical even.
Yeah, and it comes on. People are gonna pop. They're not booing really.
Yeah.
Maybe when she starts talking, but out of respect to make her a heel.
Yeah, like Jacob's Fatu's music has. Oh, do you want to cover your ears? I'm gonna say your favorite word. Yeah, his music, his whole entrance is aura, right? And it matches his attitude, and it works for a face or a heel. I think it just
Fair enough.
Solo Sikoa's music sounds heelish, taking it all. I think Solo Sikoa, unless he continues this little comedic thing he's got going, which I'm enjoying. I think they should never turn him face.
I think he seems a little bit more serious now that he has an entire NFT. Oh, I'm sorry, MFT.
No, it wasn't.
That's what I thought. I
That's what
thought
Tama
that
Tonga.
Tamatonga was, but he said, "This is my MFT, my family tree."
I think Tongaloa he's my family too. Like, this is my family, and that's also my family. This is my dude,
Okay.
and also that guy.
Maybe it's not a bloodline anymore. It's my family tree. It's Solo's family tree. You know,
Is that what he's called? What the collective is called? MFT.
I don't know why he would just say that though. He said,
Mateo's. I mean, Mateo's not related. He's Hawaiian.
"I
Not Samoan.
understand what you're
Tongan.
saying." But maybe it's like, how you have your family and your found family.
Mm,
Maybe it's like that.
yeah.
Maybe he's an honorary Fatu or whatever. Like Sammy's an honorary Oos. Like, so you say Solo can't honorize people? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. You think the Usos could just do that? Huh?
Well, they kind of sponsored Sammy to join the Bloodline. At least Jay did. Oh, Jimmy did. It was Jimmy.
Jimmy J, J, Jimmy J, Jimmy J, J, Jimmy. Okay?
Jay was sus.
Jay's always been sus. All right, let's stop playing grab ass here. All right, let's get
Not even
to
in the
the
same
meat
room, bro.
here. Talking about grab ass and shit. All right. So look, Night of Champions. Give us your brief, not brief. Give us a review of what you liked about Night of Champions and how it went down, and then we'll skedaddle.
All right.
And
So-
whatever you want to bring up, Monday Night Raw stuff and your SmackDowns and whatever's in your mind.
Sammy versus Karrion Cross. I think Cross could have had a stronger showing.
You mean winning?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they don't have really have next steps in place or a goal in place for what they're doing with Karrion Cross right now. It's like, okay, mess with this guy's head, mess with that guy's head. What's the end game? Where are we going with this?
Well, it's him and Sami Zayn.
It is, but I feel like it seems less not coherent, but cohesive. It doesn't feel very cohesive. It kind of reminds me of the stuff they were doing with Aleister Black, like immediately before he left, where he's in a dark room and saying, "Come find me. I want to fight you. Come find me." It seemed like great that he's on TV, but what are you doing with him? What are we doing? I feel like I'm getting the impression there's no longer term story planned. They're kind of just seeing where it leads and then following, rather than saying, "This is the destination, these are the steps to get there." I don't think they're out ahead of it enough. That's my thoughts on that.
Agreed.
Okay, so then Solo and Jacob. I don't remember if we picked Solo for that.
I picked Jake. I picked Solo. You picked Jacob.
Okay.
Had me looking like I was crazy, but apparently not.
No. I like the idea of Solo finally having singles gold on the main roster. Um, like there's definitely more to come here. We just had the return of Tongaloa and the addition of Tala Tonga, while Tama Tonga is still out.
I think you had to do that because I feel like when Tongaloa came out, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
And then the Tonga came. It's like, oh, look at
And
that.
you named him.
I did name him.
They were
Technically.
they were obviously watching our stream, heard you say he's Tala Tonga, and they're like, all right, that works.
Yeah, I was like Tonga or
Mhm.
tallest Tonga.
Mhm.
Either way.
Yeah,
Um,
easier to pronounce for some people than Hikaleo.
and also he's the taller one.
He is the taller one.
So easy.
Yeah. Jade and Asuka, I already talked about that as far as like they have a plan for Jade. Honestly, it doesn't hurt Asuka. She's her accolades are within the WWE are well known. Cena and Punk went exactly as we expected. Rhea and Raquel. For me, not memorable, but that's probably just me.
Okay.
They've obviously moved on from that. Raquel's working on defending her tag title with Roxanne at Evolution next week.
Roxanne.
Yep. Cody and Orton went exactly as we thought it would, and then we had the return of Drew on Monday.
Oh
And
my God.
Drew with his same old shtick.
Drew
Randy
came back on Friday.
was it Friday? That's the one.
Yeah, because it's SmackDown where he currently resides.
Thank you. And then we had the old RKO after Drew ran his mouth a bit too much, which was
Yeah, but now you get a match.
Yeah. That is going to be at Saturday night's main event, which has two other matches besides that. Damn, this is the wrong Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, Goldberg versus Gunter and LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, for some reason, this is the entire history of Saturday night's main event Wikipedia page.
Well, don't even worry about that.
Knight and Seth kind of saw it coming. Seth's going to go over because he's got all the guys and the power.
What does that have to do with LA Knight?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a belt.
LA Knight doesn't have the power. This is going to unleash this power on LA Knight, yeah.
I have to tell you that no one has the power. Okay? No one.
Are you sure about that? I feel like if someone had the power, they wouldn't necessarily let everyone know that they had the power. Part of the power is that power being unknown.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're never going to find out about that, are we?
Not ever.
Well, that's bullshit. All right, so I guess that's it for your Night of Champions review. You thought it was good? You know?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, me too. John Cena CM Punk was... Look, John Cena's lost a step, all right? He'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was...
Eyebrows haven't.
It's probably the best you could do with all that shenanigans to protect Punk, but also give John Cena, that puts him over CM Punk. He has more wins over CM Punk. And as far as we know, that was their final match. As far as we know. And Cena says, December, that's it. That's a wrap.
He has something like 15 dates left.
Yeah. And that's it. So, I don't
Which
know
is-
what their plan here for this is.
Mhm.
Seth tried to cash in, and poor Charles Robinson had to pay for it.
Got launched.
Raquel still got beat, even with help.
Hmm.
It's like, all right. And then with Cross and Sammy, I'm with you on that one. Jacob and Solo, Jacob got destroyed, him and Jimmy. But he'll be back next week just fine.
Yep.
He's not going to be selling that. Because I think he got hit in the head with a toolbox and he was fine at WarGames. So he'll probably be down for a little while.
Hmm.
And then he'll come back. So
Yeah.
he'll be fine for Friday. And, Asuka and Jade, it is what it is to get to where we need to.
Hmm.
And we were right about Randy and Cody, that the story was that Randy hesitated, Cody didn't.
Hmm.
And that's why Cody won.
Yep.
And I think SummerSlam, which it's official, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the championship. I think Cody gets the belt back.
Mm.
And then we find out what's the next in this John Cena chapter.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to come all the way down to the wire. Cena's not going to lose it till his next to last appearance. Then he'll come out on either Raw or SmackDown and give his big farewell speech. And then
I think John Cena finishes at a face.
Yeah.
I think that the heel run is not going to be lasting that long. And he's going to turn babyface. And then we'll get some more matches. And then December will be it.
And then
But who will
he's
be
going
the
in
final
Hall of
match?
Fame.
Do you think?
Is Rock and Duck Cena? Is Cody
I
and
hope
Duck
not.
Cena?
I hope it's not The Rock. I think it should be Stu the cameraman. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Does Randy induct Cena?
It could be Randy. It could be Triple H. It could be Stephanie McMahon. For all we know.
I hope not. Imagine he makes Nikki Bella induct him.
No. Give her spotlight? Fuck that. I'm not even entirely convinced that he didn't take out Liv Morgan just to screw Nikki Bella out of a match at Evolution, because now she don't got no match at Evolution.
Yeah.
She's going to be there, but people forget that that's gone. Oh, what if? I doubt they'll do it. The Raw team is Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, and they're in that tag team thing.
They might do that.
Like, maybe, right? Because the only thing that's making me not believe that is because while I was doubting the in-ring shapeness of Nikki, I think the in-ring shapeness of Brie is even lower than Nikki. Because she's always been the better wrestler. At least that's the way they pushed it when she was a champion. And even after that.
True.
So.
I don't know. I mean, if Bree's chasing around toddler, I don't know however the hell old her kid or kids are at this point.
Don't matter. She ain't bumping.
She's not bumping, but that's cardio.
Yeah. Well, there's a week before now until then. So I think Monday we'll find out who the Raw tag team is.
Hope so.
And then they'll probably let us know on Tuesday. So put that in your crack pipe and smoke it. All right. Well, unless you had anything else you wanted to throw into the blender here,
We are gonna do. We have another episode before Evolution where we're gonna
You
finalize
think?
these picks. Yeah, where we finalize these picks. So just to run these down real quick, because also we gotta do a tiebreaker, which we'll do.
I think the tiebreaker should be on Thursday.
Yeah, and we can finalize these. That's when we record. It'll be released Friday, probably. If not Friday, then Saturday.
Yeah, definitely not as long as this for
Yeah.
because we did it here in this episode.
Yeah. So real quick rundown here. We JC Jane versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Title. We both have Jordan Grace. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. We both have Io Sky. That's for the Women's World Championship. Raquel and Roxanne defending in a fatal four-way where the only opponents we know about so far are Alexa and Charlotte. We both have Raquel and Roxanne. The Battle Royal for the Women's World Championship match at Clash in Paris, where we only know 2 participants. I have Bianca Belair, who has not been officially announced. Jared has Stephanie Vaquer, who has been officially announced. The only other participant announced is Ivy Nile. Stratton versus Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. We both have Tiffany Stratton. Jade versus Naomi, no holds barred. We both have Jade. And Becky versus Lyra versus Bailey for the IC title. We both have Becky.
Well, Evolution's gonna be the most all time. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, the best evolution since the last evolution, which was 7 years ago.
Look, I hope they do well, but they're on a loaded weekend. Saturday night's main event,
Oldberg's
fucking
last match.
All In, is also, I'm pretty sure, next week. So they put Evolution against All In. I don't know if that's going to work out well for Evolution, but we'll be watching it.
Yep. Right over there. Couch of Champions.
When I'm there. All right.
Yeah.
So, let's get out of here.
Oh, thanks everyone for checking us out. I do know that more than half of you that are watching right now are not subscribed. Do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to be number 10, whatever it is at this point. We're looking to get to 120, so do a solid. Help us out. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it, and we really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for that. So let us know down below what you think. What you thought of Nia Champions, what you think of Evolution, and what you think of Saturday night's main event and Oldberg's last match. All right.
Thank God.
And speaking of finally, as always, Jazz got a party message.
Yeah, I had something to say. I forgot what it was. It probably wasn't very important. Oh, yeah. So we're back to 104. I think someone strayed from the flock, but you could be the new 105. The last 105 was a great person. Nothing against them. Obviously, something happened. You know, maybe we're not their cup of tea, but maybe we're your cup of tea. And as always, you know, if you have like a suggestion or comment about Evolution, what do you think you would change? Or if you can add a match to Evolution, comment down below. The match of life is scheduled for one fall, so make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the bookers.